Hi, I'm Jess. I'm an artist and musician, and over the course of my young adult life, I sabotaged my career over and over and over again. It's an interesting dance, an interesting balance when you're talking about your past and what you've potentially done right or done wrong. And there's a balance between taking accountability, but also not being too hard on yourself, especially at times when you were young and didn't know any better. But I've compiled a list of things that I either did or did not do, which ultimately led to ruin and anguish and depression. Not necessarily, but seriously, these were things that did not help my career and did not help my journey. And now, as an artist in my 30s, I am rebuilding my entire career with the knowledge I have now. And I don't spend a whole lot of time on regret or wondering what could have been, because it's kind of a waste of time. Instead, I want to move forward and maybe inform others so that I can potentially help save you from yourself. So let's go for a little walk. Let's go for a little adventure. And I'm going to tell you how to sabotage your career. Number 1, focus only on giant nebulous goals that are unattainable, rather than focus on small steps and small goals that will work you towards your ultimate goal. For example, for a very long time, I just wanted to be a pop star. And that, no joke, was my goal. Did I know anything about the music industry? No. I didn't even have a concept of what pop stardom was. It was just, I liked Avril Lavigne and Hilary Duff and wanted to be them. And we're not gonna unpack that, okay? Because I know if you want fame, it means you have brain problems. It's good to have goals. I think goals are great. It's how I get anything, whoops. It's how I get anything done ever. But in terms of my music and my art career in general, I never took the time to set myself small, attainable goals in order to build my confidence, rather than waking up every day being like, I am working my way towards pop stardom today. Waking up and having a goal like, today I'm gonna rehearse with my band until this song sounds good. And then celebrating when you achieve that goal. I didn't ever do that. I was always big picture all the time. And all the little accomplishments that I made, I just never celebrated. Even when I started getting paid to perform in like pubs, I never celebrated that. So now I have smaller goals. Now my overall goal is make as much art as I possibly can and make a living off of it. Like that's the ultimate goal. Oh, I need chapstick. I was also like, where's my phone? You're my phone. So set yourself small goals. Right now, my goal is to finish my single and film a music video, put it out there, and accumulate 1,000 views on YouTube. That's the goal. And once I achieve that goal, I'm gonna be having a celebration day where I like bake myself a cake and make it a big deal. I'm not interested in what happens after. That is the goal, and that is the most important thing. And I know, had I created steps for myself like that 10 years ago, things would be really different today. And I would have a much deeper appreciation for the work that I do. And I just would have had a much healthier relationship with my ultimate goal. So if you would like to sabotage your art career, set yourself a giant nebulous goal and hate yourself every day that you haven't achieved it. Okay, let's go outside. Outside. I have not been outside very much lately. Way to sabotage your art career number 2. This is such a weird format. Don't trust your vision and make the art that other people tell you to make. There's a lot to unpack with this one, actually, because there's this weird balancing act you have to do between making the art you want to make, but then also making the art that sells. So I think there is a healthy balance. I don't think I executed that very well. Let's take music, for example. I've been writing my own songs for a long time, but because I started getting paid to play in pubs and things like that, I kind of just started playing what people wanted to hear me play all the time. And sometimes that's fun. And I'm only speaking from my experience. Don't come for me. But for me, it lost its fun because I'm not just here to perform for people. I'm an artist. I'm a creator. And what's important to me and what keeps my soul alive is getting to make stuff from my heart. And I don't find it particularly fulfilling to sing Jolene while drunk people heckle me, you know? And I've gone through these phases with music where I've quit for a while and then I'm like, no, this time I'm going for it. And I am gonna show up like the weirdo artist I am. And if people don't like it, I don't care, which in my opinion is a really good attitude to have. However, after my first couple of gigs with that newfound confidence, I would lose it really quickly because of comments people make. And it's like, let me suck at it. I'm gonna suck when I first start out. I have to start somewhere. I like electronic pop music. That's what I've always wanted to play. And I have done a few performances where I have my laptop and I've created some tracks and some looping and my keyboard. And yeah, like, I know it's not a polished, perfected performance yet, but it's what I want to do and it's my vision and it will get there. It just takes time. So I think I, in the past, have easily been scared away from doing the things I want to do and sticking to my vision. When I stopped playing the songs everybody expected from me and started doing my own thing, the audience that I had built over the last 5-10 years was kind of like, what? They became invested in what I was doing because I was doing what they wanted me to do. Does that make any sense? If you don't create from an authentic place from the very beginning, it's going to be very difficult to create relationships with your audience. Because eventually what happened is I had this like inauthentic relationship where it was like, I know you like it when I do these things, but I don't even like doing these things. The person that you like isn't even a person. I'm living a lie. And that's what it felt like. And that's what being inauthentic felt like and not trusting my vision felt like. So, way to sabotage your art career number 2. Don't trust your own vision and just do what everyone else tells you to do. You probably won't implode. All right, let's go down to the water. Okay, the third way to sabotage your art career, it kind of ties into the last one. It's kind of along the lines of not trusting your vision, but it's taking jobs that don't align with your vision. So I guess it is really close to the last point I made, but as an example, especially this happened a lot in the first few years that I was living kind of a full-time artist life. I was taking basically any job that came my way. In 2016, I moved back from Scotland, and when I moved back home, I was like, that's it. I'm never going to be someone else's employee ever again. I'm working for me starting now. But anyway, I would take any job that came my way, especially around that time. And it's a hard thing not to do. I get that. It might be something that you can't really avoid. So maybe this is bad advice, but I'm gonna say I did that too much and I did not say no enough. Somebody would come to me and be like, hey, can you paint a Tuscan landscape on a huge piece of plywood for me? That actually did happen. And I was kind of like, yes, absolutely I can. and then I did, but I ended up basically plagiarizing the design because it wasn't something that I was comfortable doing. But at that time, I just felt so scattered. I didn't have a portfolio I was proud of because every project I did, I just kind of was winging it and hoping that it turned out okay. And I was never proud enough to go to somebody and be like, here is a portfolio, aren't you impressed? Because I wasn't impressed and I wasn't proud of them. I wasn't excited about them because it's just not what I wanted to do. And something as simple as just having a website or an Instagram account. I hated the way my Instagram looked. I hated the way my portfolio looked because it was just so all over the place. There was no consistency there. There was no specialty. It was like a jack of all trades, master of none kind of situation where I didn't focus on anything. I was so scattered. And it was because I took every single job that came my way, because I was trying to live as an artist, starting now, rather than setting small goals and eventually achieving that big goal. I was just like, I want it right now, and I will do whatever it takes. And guys, the weird jobs I ended up doing, the weird jobs and the weird gigs, like I don't even know where to start. I could do a vlog that's just weird stories. So yes, the third way to sabotage an art career is to take every job, even if it doesn't align with your vision or your authentic artist self. Let's walk somewhere else. Number 4, having a plan for your money. I still suck at this. When I first met my partner, Tyler, we have a long history. It took us a long time to become a couple. But when we first met, I was 19, he was 20, and he became my first manager. He booked all my first gigs. And I remember I was busking in Vancouver. So those of you who don't know what busking is, it's just singing on the side of the road and collecting money. And I remember getting into a little bit of an argument with him because he made a comment about how I should take the money that I made and put it into an account to invest back into my music. And I remember being like, what? No, I need to like use this for groceries. This is my job now. I'm an artist. I am a singer starting right now. And this is how I'm gonna pay my bills. And in some ways I'm like, hell yeah. But in other ways I'm like, okay, but also you need to have a plan for your money. Some of it needs to go back into your career. So yes, take a portion of it to buy yourself groceries, but maybe take 30% of it and put it into an account labeled career, or just put it towards whatever the next thing you need, because you always need stuff. If you're a musician, you need equipment, you need instruments, you need new strings, whatever. On a larger scale, recording time, album costs, music videos, there's always stuff to save for. So just have a plan for your money. Just have a plan. I never had a plan. I still struggle with this. I still sabotage myself in this realm. Look at this lovely path. Let's walk down it. I really wish I didn't wear this vest. Horse. Okay, where are we? Number 5. The 5th way to sabotage your art career. Avoiding people. Being afraid of collaborating. I have always hated working with other people, and I'm just gonna be honest about that. That's just the horse is gone. Doesn't want to collaborate. I was the kid in class that anytime the teacher was like, oh, this is a group project, like I just don't like it. Maybe it has something to do with not liking being creative with someone else, because I don't feel free to make embarrassing mistakes or do embarrassing things. Oh, there's another horse. Look, it's a brown horse. I have a bad habit of viewing myself as other. Like there's people and then there's Jess, and we're a separate thing. And I have separated myself from people that probably could have really helped me. And some of the times that I have pushed myself to collaborate, I haven't enjoyed myself, or the project didn't end up being what I wanted it to be, or whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons, a lot of excuses why I did not collaborate. But like I said, I believe that had I collaborated more, I would have made more connections. More connections means more people, more knowledge, more data, and you just grow faster. And that might always be something that I struggle with, but I'm very aware of it now, and I am implementing collaboration in the future. So yeah, number 5 way to sabotage your art career: don't collaborate. Lock yourself in your room and wholeheartedly believe that no one can ever help you. You won't get very far. Okay, let's keep going. Bye, horsies. Actually, I've decided I'd like to go home because it's tea time. Okay, the 6th way to surely sabotage your art career: don't, whatever you do, don't cultivate a relationship with your audience. Don't do it. This one's so embarrassing, and I am very hard on myself for this one. When I first started posting videos on YouTube, it was like the beginning of musicians on YouTube, which makes me sound like a dinosaur. But it was like 2009, and that's why I have so many subscribers on this channel. But my videos get very low views at this point because I didn't value the relationship that I had with my viewers. I didn't value my viewers. I'm talking specifically online at this point, and the reasoning I have for not paying attention and the reason I didn't value my relationship with my viewers, and I didn't create relationships, and I didn't pursue connections with fans is really embarrassing. Basically, I wanted to be like all of the famous YouTube singers. And to me, that meant I couldn't go around engaging with everyone who commented on my video. I was trying to create this illusion that I was a big deal. I told you it's embarrassing. It's because I would look at other YouTubers that had like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and I just noticed that they didn't interact with their commenters, at least none that I could see. And so I was like, okay, well, if I want to be just as important as that creator, then I better not engage with people who comment or people who send me messages or whatever. I really believed that if I maintained distance with the people who were supporting me, I would appear more important or something. I don't even know. Anyway, I'm gonna stop harping on this point. Talk to everyone. Talk to everyone at the event. Give people your attention. When folks come up to me after I'm done performing, I make such an effort now to look them in the eye and to just listen to what they're saying. And I'm not talking about the people who come up to me and are like, hey, I've got connections, or the people who tell me what to do with my career. Not those people. I mean the people who come up to you and just tell you that they appreciated your performance. Making sure you make a connection. Like, can I give you my card? I have a newsletter. Would you like to be part of it? Maybe this point isn't super relatable to people because I see other artists and other musicians for whom this comes really naturally, and I do have a very rigid way of thinking sometimes, and I do have some social problems. Now that I know that, I can manage them a lot better and open my mind. I feel like I'm just kind of rambling on this point. The 6th way to sabotage your art career: make no connection with your audience. In fact, ignore them altogether. Let's go sit down. All right, number 7. And this is the most embarrassing one. You know how I said I had a rigid way of thinking? Well, this is a perfect example of that. The 7th way to sabotage your art career is to try to copy the career of someone else. When I was about 20 years old, I came across an upcoming Canadian pop star. If you know me, you know who I'm talking about. She's an artist, and she had the career I decided I wanted. She had the audience I wanted, the vibe I wanted. She played the type of music I liked. I loved her style, the way she carried herself, the way she spoke. We shared a lot of the same hobbies. It was kind of a running joke with me and some of my friends that she was living my life. And though it all seemed like fun and games, just silliness, it was incredibly damaging to my career, my creativity, and my self-esteem, my spirit. It was the most toxic special interest I've ever had. I wanted to be her and hated myself for not being like her. Some days in my early 20s, I would spend every day off I had just watching her on YouTube, because she used to make videos all the time, and I would just watch video after video, interview after interview with her, live performance after live performance, and it made me feel empty and sad and not good enough all the time. So I guess it's more than just I wanted her career. It was like I was constantly comparing myself to her. I wanted my career to look exactly like hers, and I couldn't see outside of that. So whenever someone suggested something to me that wasn't in alignment with what she was doing, I'd be like, no, no, because I want this career over here. I want it to look exactly like this. And that's just not realistic. Everyone has their own journey, and everyone has to learn things at their own pace. I understand that now. This is really hard to talk about because I'm still kind of coming to terms with the fact that this was probably the thing that poisoned my career the most. I guess this point is, don't compare yourself to others. Don't try to be anyone else. Leave space to find your own originality and your own path, and do things that look different from your idols, from the people you look up to. There was quite an eye-opening moment a few years ago when I went to one of her shows, and I'm still a huge fan of hers, by the way. I've healed my relationship with the fandom. I went to a meet and greet with her, and there was a point where she was answering questions, and I asked, how does a musician go from playing pubs and private events to touring and opening for other bands? Like, what's the bridge there? What do I have to do? And I remember her fully not knowing how to answer that question. I think she kind of evaded it, actually, and she started kind of talking about something else. I don't remember what she said. All I remember is that she didn't answer my question. And I realized in that moment it's because our career paths have been completely different. She's never played in pubs. In that moment, I felt very discouraged, and that made me quite depressed, and that was around when I quit music. Now I understand that we just have very different paths and different trajectories. I had different lessons to learn and just a different destiny. And I trust the process now, whereas before, again, with my tunnel vision and my rigid way of thinking, I just didn't see anything outside of this very specific trajectory. I am so tired from talking about all of this. I'm sure a lot of these points, if they were brought up to me 10 years ago, I probably wouldn't have been able to understand them. I wouldn't have heard them. I wouldn't have implemented them into my career. But you never really know, I guess. And I hope that this video helps someone. It helps me because talking about all this stuff and kind of reliving it all, it makes me so proud of myself because I am able to see my career and my life from a different perspective now. And it gives me so much excitement and hope for the future of my career. And there are going to be lots of other mistakes that I make, I'm sure, and many more lessons to learn. But I am so grateful for the lessons I've learned along the way, and I hope that this video can help you. Or I hope you were entertained, at least. We saw horses, so that was nice. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end of the video, leave me a comment that says, "When it rains, look for rainbows." Please subscribe to my channel. I make videos every Sunday. I talk about the ups and downs of being an artist, being self-employed, and living rurally. And it's just a fun time. It's a fun time. So please subscribe before you go. Please give this video a little thumbs up. I'd appreciate that very much. And leave a comment if you can. Oh, my cat's food went off. I will see you next week. Bye.